Citi 97.3. Accra. Citi 97.3. More variety.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Citi News.
It's midday. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Citi Prime News. We're coming to you live from our studios at number 11, Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka, Accra. My name is Ajuatin Krama Domina. Coming up, Electoral Commission agrees to meet National Democratic Congress on Friday, September 6, as it moves to address concerns over credibility of the voters' register.
They've written to us confirming that we can have a meeting with them on the 5th of September 2024 to have a thorough discussion over the discrepancies that we have identified in the register given to us.
Meanwhile, the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, CODEO, wants a thorough investigation into allegations of illegal vote transfers.
I will recommend a thorough investigation into what has really happened. If transfers were made without consulting the people involved, that is clearly an anomaly.
Also coming up, Department of Social Welfare at Gomwa East District Assembly insists they demonstrated compassion and forthrightness to save the life of a woman left abandoned at Gomwa Ojobi in the Central Region.
If they had no ulterior motives.
We have a full report signed by the social welfare officer in charge of the case. Still in the bulletin, Minority in Parliament questions necessity of deploying military personnel to enforce ban on grain export as they accuse the government of voter intimidation.
If they had no ulterior motives, then they ought to have given us timelines. The fact that there are no timelines gives us reason to suspect.
And later, over 300 exhibitors gear up for Channel 1 TV and Citi FM's highly anticipated two-day trade fair. This is Ghana. We'll tell you what to expect and why you shouldn't miss this year's edition.
Sometimes when you hear people talk about, as for Ghana, we don't produce anything. As for Ghana, we are not doing anything. It's a flawed statement. It's probably because you stay at home and you don't visit exhibitions like these. So you don't even know what is on the market.
Stay with us for details of these and more stories coming your way in the next 30 minutes. The news is live around the globe on citinewsroom.com, on YouTube and on Facebook. You can find us on Citi 97.3 FM. Across the country, we are live on a number of affiliates in the Western region. This is Premier 100.5 FM in Takoradi Beach, 105.5 FM in Takoradi. In the Bono region, this is J Life 95.5 in Sunyani. Ashanti region, Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. In the Volta region, this is Akpini Radio 96.7 in Pando. Heritage 107.3 FM in Hohoi. In the Northern region, Dasuma 99.1 FM in Yendi. In Upper East, this is Word 88.3 FM in Zwarungu. In the Upper West region, Westlink 88.1 FM in Laura. And in the Northeast region, Eagle FM 94.1 in Wale Wale. Please stay for details.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
We're grateful for your company this afternoon. Let's begin on election-related matters. And the Electoral Commission has scheduled a meeting with the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, on Friday, September 6th, to address concerns regarding discrepancies in the voters' register. The NDC has raised issues including alleged illegal vote transfers that could affect the election's credibility. The Deputy Director of Elections and IT of the NDC, Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer, tells Citi News that the electoral roll cannot be considered robust until the Electoral Commission addresses concerns by stakeholders.
Yes, I can confirm that in a letter They've written to us confirming that we can have a meeting with them on the 5th of September 2024 to have a thorough discussion over the discrepancies that we have identified in the register given to us. We wrote to them requesting such a meeting, and then they've acceded to the meeting. It is not an IPAC meeting. It's a meeting between them. The meeting should be able to address the discrepancies that we have identified. I mean, that is what we are looking for. We just want the discrepancies to be addressed. I mean, they should return back all those who were illegally transferred, and then those whose names appeared in the register that they are not supposed to be there, like the exception list and the multiple register. That is what we are looking for. They should return them back to the main register. They themselves, it seems not to understand the word credibility. If you say your register is robust and credible, why then do you exhibit it? You exhibited it for people to make correction, and they did agree to that. The purpose of the exhibition is to identify discrepancies for them to correct all these anomalies. Okay? And so if you know that your register is subject to amendment, why do you describe it as robust?
Well, Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer further added that the NDC is training its agents across the country to vigilantly police the elections as part of efforts to ensure victory for the NDC in the upcoming elections.
Our attention is on this register to make sure that the right persons who are qualified to decide who should be our president and our MPs are the people whose names should be in the register. That is why we are working on them. Apart from that, we are also working on our agents. As we said now, we are seriously training our agents across the country to have the best of party agents to police the election on the D-Day. And we are very sure that by the time we finish all this process, we would have won the election by 54%.
Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer is Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the National Democratic Congress. Let's stay on the subject because a coalition of domestic election observers, CODEO, is demanding an investigation into the alleged illegal transfer of votes raised by the NDC as it warns of credibility challenges if these matters are not resolved. Albert Ahin is National Coordinator for CODEO.
I would recommend a thorough investigation into what has really happened. If transfers were made without consulting the people involved, that is clearly an anomaly. How did it happen? It means that you collected somebody's card and then maybe clandestinely or whatever means they used it to do, you went and did whatever was done. So there has to be an investigation. In the first place, you have to be personally involved in correcting any anomaly in the register. It's not for people to collect people's forms and then for people to collect other people's forms before you will effect a change in their data for them. So all these things would have to be found out. Is it really true that transfers were made without getting the people involved? What happened? So I would think that we need to be calm, get to the bottom of this, and then we move forward.
Well, Albert Ahin is calling on all stakeholders in the 2024 elections to tread cautiously in raising concerns about the electoral process.
I would say that we should tread cautiously. We should cooperate. The two bodies, both the EC and the NDC, should cooperate so that we get to the bottom of this matter, especially about the transfers that were made. I spoke to the regional director for the northern region, and he was saying that the guy who has been arrested in connection with this is denying that he ever did what is being alleged. So I think a thorough investigation is necessary before we move into the main election itself, because as I said, one, the register is faulty, election also will be faulty because there will be so many problems to deal with when the election itself comes.
Albert Ahin is National Coordinator for the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, CODEO. Let's move on now. The minority in Parliament has condemned the government's deployment of military personnel to border towns to enforce the grain export ban implemented due to the drought in northern regions. They questioned the necessity of military involvement, suggesting there is no evidence that immigration and customs can't enforce this ban. And the minority accuses the government further of voter intimidation ahead of the 2024 elections during parallels to similar deployments in voter and OT regions during the 2020 elections. Here's member on the Defence and Interior Committee in Parliament, James Agauga, addressing the media earlier today.
If they have no ulterior motives, then they ought to have given us timelines. The fact that there are no timelines gives us a reason to suspect that they only used the crisis related to the drought up north and the potential for us to have some food security challenges to to deploy the military to intimidate voters. Otherwise, there should be timelines. And we further backed our assertions with what happened in the run-up to the 2020 elections. I mean, we're all in this country, right? At the time, some of us said, look, the attacks were carefully orchestrated to warrant the massive deployment of troops, I mean, in the Volta region and OT regions, in the name of what? A secessionist threat. What have we done to neutralize the secessionist threat? And as we pointed out in this statement, those groups subsequently were established to be phantom groups. So our suspicions are justifiable.
James Agaga is a member on the Defense and Interior Committee in Parliament. But let's stay with the Minority Caucus in Parliament because the group is criticizing the release of 50 million cedis to the West African Examination Council, WAEC, and describing it as insufficient. The Ministry of Education announced the payment after the minority warned that delays could disrupt the 2024 West African Senior School Certificate Examination, WASI. The ranking member on the Education Committee, Peter Nochukotoi, in an interview with Citi News, says they will continue to pressure the government to clear the over 100 million cedis in outstanding arrears.
You are owing them over 200 Ghana cedis. You pay 55.9 weeks ago. That was in June. Now you are paying another 50 million, which means about 105 million. What is important is that these examinations and activities are time bound. So if monies are not released on time, it affects the work plan of the WAEC. So for me, they have done something, but it is not the best. I think we don't need to look in always before what is necessary to be done. As our educational policies and programs are concerned, we don't need to talk on the global situation. So we will continue to talk on behalf of WAEC so that the right thing is done at the right time for our pupils and candidates also to get their results in time and then go back to school or resume the next academic year or program successfully. So we will continue to press go and make demands on the government to make sure that all areas are cleared before the end of.
You heard the ranking member on the Education Committee of Parliament, Peter Nochukotoi. Now, the NPP flag bearer, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, has slammed John Mahama for some of his ideas, including the inclusion of nightclubs in his 24-hour economy policy. According to Dr. Bawumia, the NDC flag bearer does not have policies that will lead to the development of the country. Addressing party faithfuls at a Community Connect event in the Domikobinya constituency, Dr. Bawumia noted that his policies will result in an upgrade of the country.
We are bringing a new Ghana. We are the upgrading Ghana. We are upgrading Ghana. We are going to a new level. Usha, mene umantoni dada. Ono dear. Now being an essay, nkukon kitting. Sa economy na okasa.
John Mahama has only 4 years to govern, and his 24-hour economy policy is not even clear. He may not govern as expected. However, since I will need to contest again, I will be more accountable.
You heard the NPP flag bearer, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Well, the NDC flag bearer, John Mahama, has pledged to offer incentives to foreign investors in his next administration in a bid to address Ghana's investment deficit. Acknowledging the challenges facing the local economy, John Mahama believes this strategy will be crucial in achieving his vision for economic recovery. Speaking at the Distinguished Speakers Series on the direct foreign investment in Accra, he reaffirmed his commitment to creating an enabling environment for businesses to thrive.
An example is fiscal and monetary policy, which affect the business environment but under the control of the Ministry of Finance and the Bank of Ghana respectively. Therefore, under the next NDC government, there will be both general and targeted policy interventions to create a sound environment for all businesses to thrive. and to deal with specific bottlenecks that impede the effective and efficient operation of businesses in Ghana. Providing specific incentives to foreign investors to help address our investment deficits in the shortest possible time will form an integral part of the strategy to reset the economy and to bring it back from the brink of collapse.
John Mahama is a flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress. This is still the Citi Prime News. When we return, over 300 exhibitors gear up for Channel 1 TV and Citi FM's highly anticipated two-day trade fair. This is Ghana. We have details of this and more stories coming your way after we return.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
The exhibitor slots for the This is Ghana Exhibition 2024 are officially sold out. Now, gear up to explore the remarkable fair to showcase the rich diversity, talent, innovation, and mastery of made in Ghana products and services at the This is Ghana Exhibition 2024. Come and shop everything made in Ghana and also enjoy some electrifying performances by Kwampa and the Adaha Dance Band. Date 31st August and the 1st of September 2024. Time 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day. Venue Accra Metropolitan Assembly AMA. Entry for the exhibition is free. Follow all Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM social media handles for updates with the hashtag This is Ghana Exhibition 2024. The This is Ghana Exhibition 2024 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM and proudly sponsored by MTN, Core Natural, Ghana National Gas Company, Ghana Pay Mobile Money, Piva Beverages, Ghana Exim Bank, Petroleum Commission Ghana, Global Share Alliance, Built, and Aromex Ghana Limited.
I'm made in Ghana. I'm made in Ghana. I'm made in Ghana. You can take me to
Channel 1 TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on Channel 363. On GoTV, we're on Channel 117. And on HD+, get us on Channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search. But take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Channel 1 TV. Channel 1 TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box, like the DSTV and HD+ boxes. Channel 1 TV, telling your story, empowering change.
Get ready for the ultimate battle of business minds at the Citi Business Olympics 2024. Join us for a day of intense competition, team building, and networking as companies go head to head in the various challenges to prove their skills and expertise. From traditional sports like seven-a-side football, basketball, sack race, and volleyball to unique challenges like tug of war and arm wrestling, there's no shortage of excitement and adrenaline pumping action. Don't miss out on this exciting event that will test your business acumen and athletic skills on the field. Date Saturday 28th September 2024. Venue Eden Heights Sports Complex, Wager. Time 8 a.m. Call 0558 973 973 for details on how you can participate and showcase your company's talents at the Citi Business Olympics 2024. Get ready to compete, collaborate, and conquer. The Citi Business Olympics 2024 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 Citi FM and proudly sponsored by Piva Beverages, Blue Jeans Energy Drink, and Bethel Logistics, experts in shipping logistics.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Let's bring you some more stories this afternoon. The Department of Social Welfare of Gomwa East District has defended its actions regarding the circumstances which led to the death of a woman who was abandoned in the area. The clarification of the matter follows a viral footage of the woman allegedly abandoned in a bush by an ambulance belonging to the Trauma and Specialist Hospital in Winneba. Now, this incident sparked social media outrage with calls for action to be taken against the hospital. Now, in a statement, the Department of Social Welfare insists that they showed compassion and made sincere efforts to save the woman's life despite the unfortunate outcome. Here are excerpts of the statement read by Citi News' Kennedy Chumesi.
On Monday, 3rd June, DDNS told me that the mental health people had recommended that she'd be referred to Ankafo Psychiatric Hospital or sent back to where she was picked from. So as it is, we should trace where the patient was picked and send her back there. After a few minutes, she indicated that Ankafo Psychiatric Hospital were demanding approximately 9,000 before the patient would be accepted. On Sunday, 2nd June, I received a WhatsApp video from DDNS showing the mess that our mentally challenged client was causing to hospital property. The entire incident is very unfortunate. We, the social workers involved, are saddened it turned out this way, but I believe that as the hospital social worker and a social worker from Gomwa East, I demonstrated compassion and forthrightness to save the life of this woman. That is, from picking her up from the gutter and paying the Ghana ambulance fee 300 cedis and bringing her back to a place where she could get community support. We believe that the woman was put into a community and we expected the community would do their humanitarian duty alongside our efforts to get this woman a place at the mental home.
You heard Citi News' Kennedy Chumesi with excerpts of a statement released by the Department of Social Welfare, the Gomwa East District Assembly in the Central Region. Let's do some other stories. The Ghana Police Service has secured convictions against 5 armed robbers involved in a series of robberies and carjacking incidents in the Ashanti region. The robbers, Jeffrey Jumo and Clifford Opoku, were each sentenced to 120 years for conspiracy and robbery, while Kwabena Cheiba received 105 years for dishonest receiving. Another person, Prince Opuni, was fined and given a 10-month sentence for reckless driving, and Henry Kusimafo was fined for supplying ammunition. 2 suspects have been acquitted. Now, away from that, the convener for the Media Coalition Against Galamsey, Engineer Kenneth Ashibe, has commended the Asante Hinotumfo Seitu II for destooling 2 chiefs for indulging in illegal mining activities. According to him, the relevant authorities in charge of curbing such activities are complicit, leading to a surge in illegal mining. In an interview with Citi News, Engineer Kenneth Ashibe called on the government to ensure such perpetrators are dealt with legally.
It is important that we celebrate those who for taking the decision. And he's absolutely right that the DCE, the police, the EPA, the Minerals Commission, those who are in these communities who are supposed to work are not working. And the reason is because those we have put in charge to be able to police this themselves are either complicit or incompetent when it comes to handling the issues of Galamsey. So we all need to celebrate the Otufo and what he's doing, and I pray that other chiefs, other kings, other paramouncies would also start holding themselves accountable and holding their sub-chiefs. And I am also hoping that the president, the ministers, those who we put in charge of dealing with this issue of Galamsey would start also doing the same thing. Let me tell you, one of the major challenges that we're beginning to face, but when it comes to the Chinese, when they are taken to court, one of the things that we're beginning to see is that for the lack of interpreters, they are set free. And so our appeal is to the Chief Justice to say that he needs to provide interpreters for these Chinese so that when these Chinese are arrested, we can take them through the entire process.
Convener for the Media Coalition Against Galamsey, Engineer Kenneth Ashigbe. Now, the convener for the Locked Up Investment Holders Forum, Dr. Edouard Anienchi, has called on the government to increase the funds allocated to aggrieved customers. This follows the release of 700 million cedis to fund managers after months of protest by the affected customers. Dr. Edouard Anienchi stated that they will continue picketing at the Finance Ministry to demand their share of the funds.
So we have said that they should reduce that 2.3 so that they will free some money and add it to this 200 million for it to be able to go around and get a little relief to customers of companies whose licenses are still valid. They have not revoked their licenses. They are operating, but they cannot operate. And Bank of Ghana say, until the provision is made, I cannot revoke this license, because if I revoke, customers will come to me and ask for their money, and I wouldn't be able to tell them where to go for their money. So that is the problem we have now. And we will say we will continue to pick it until that is resolved.
That's the convener for Locked Up Investment Holders Forum, Dr. Edu Anani Enchi. Away from that, the media Commission has issued a warning to the public to be vigilant about foreign information manipulations and interference, FIMI, ahead of the December elections. Now, this, they say, is a tactic used by foreign entities to destabilize peace during the election period. Speaking at the National Youth Party Leaders Conference, Executive Secretary of the National Media Commission, George Sapon, says institutions vital to the country's peace and stability are being targeted. He asks Ghanaians to be cautious when sharing information on social media.
It could be true that there are people who have legitimate concerns about the council, but the virality with which it moves is pushed by foreign agents. Sometimes there are people behind us, not from this country, who are helping you to destroy your nation. But you feel satisfied that you put something out and it is going viral. And if we told you that somebody is manipulating your information, you would argue with us because you would believe that it is your communication strategy that is working. So you become unwitting pawns in the hands of people. The other side we talked about is weaponizing ego explosion. Every one of us thinks we are intelligent. Every one of us thinks that we know. I want to end and just say that I did these things to draw your attention to the complexity of the distortions that you are going to see in the information system.
Executive Secretary of the National Media Commission, George Sapon. Now, the 5th edition of the This is Ghana exhibition will take place tomorrow, August 31 and September 1, 2024 at the forecourt of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. This year's event highlights Ghana's vibrant SME sector and its expanding influence in the global market. It also provides a unique platform for local small and medium-sized enterprises to showcase their innovations and connect with a diverse audience of consumers, business partners, and investors. Ahead of the event tomorrow, some businesses have been speaking to Citi News on what patrons should expect.
The story behind Maseda is to want to try this because Ghana is going to be a very great platform for us to showcase what we also have as Ghanaians, because our tea can match up to any tea worldwide. I can dare say that. So we decided that this is our first time we are going to come on board and impact Ghanaians, showcase the health benefits of drinking tea.
You know, come out and we will serve you. We have a team of account managers who are very well versed in their business, and they will recommend packaging for you and design services as well. If you're looking for design services, we also work with GS Ghana. If you need your barcodes, we can also provide that for you.
Anis Perfections is a food processing company. We actually started in 2011 as a health and beauty business, and then for the past 5 years, we decided to concentrate on just food production. And This is Ghana Fair has really helped us, and we encourage every SME, even if you've already been in the industry for a long time, we'll encourage you to join, because it's going to increase your brand visibility and increase your clientele as well.
You have some businesses who will be exhibiting their products at the This is Ghana event. Meanwhile, head of event and partnerships at Citi FM and Channel 1 TV, Frema Edunyame, has been sharing why you cannot afford to miss this year's edition.
So the exhibition, yes, you are coming in to watch, and it's important. Sometimes when you hear people talk about, as for Ghana, we don't produce anything. As for Ghana, we are not doing anything. It's a flawed statement. It's probably because you stay at home and you don't visit exhibitions like these, so you don't even know what is on the market. from services to the products to processes and all. Look, now there are a lot of alternatives when it comes to real estate. There are a whole lot of thriving business in decor, in furniture, health, hospitality, all these areas. People are doing so well. Ghanaians are making sure that we are solving Ghanaian problems by producing and offering these services.
Wow.
So it's important for us to move in there to know what Ghanaian companies are doing. Just so if you even want to hold governments responsible, if you want to raise any debate, you do so within the right context.
You have Frema Dunyame, she's head of events and partnerships at Citi FM and Channel 1 TV. Well, This is Ghana comes up tomorrow, August 31, and Sunday, September 1 at the AMA forecourt. Do well to pass through, and that's our package for you for today's edition of the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studio in Adabraka, Accra. For more stories, please visit citinewsroom.com. My name is Ajwatin Kramadum. Now, thank you for your company this afternoon. Good afternoon.
City News, we speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302-224959 and get interactive on Facebook, Citi 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at Citi 973.